Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is time for a new video, and today is going to be my last video of the top books of 2020. This was by far the most difficult out of them to rank. Was nearly impossible to decide. So again, just know that I adore all these books with my entire heart. All of these books are 5 stars. All these books are absolutely incredible. I recommend every single one of them, so definitely stay tuned and keep watching to find out about some absolutely incredible adult romances. Number 20, we have The Highwayman by Kerrigan Byrne. This book is kind of like a dark historical romance, and it is kind of childhood friends to enemies to lovers a little bit. I can't fully talk about the plot because there's some spoilers involved, but this book is so intense, and it's definitely very different from like the standard most classic vibe of historical romances, because a lot of the time historical romances are just lighthearted and fun and chill and romantic, and this book is definitely more gritty and intense and dark, and it deals with some heavier things, also more like plot heavy in terms of things that aren't just the romance, because also historical romances focus a lot on just the love story, and this one definitely is more plot driven than that. And so if that's something that you're interested in, definitely pick this book up. It is so good. Number 19, we have Trade Me by Courtney Milan. I love Courtney Milan so much, and this book was so good, and it's between this woman who is poor, and she is, trying to just make money to support her family, like her parents and everything, and she kind of meets this guy in college who is a billionaire, and they trade lives. They like trade jobs and apartments and everything, and it is so fun. I love the two of them so much. It was just such a great romance. It dealt with some important things, and it was just so good. And Courtney Milan is just so painfully underrated that you all need to check out her books. She has a lot of historical romances as well. Number 18, we have Rebel by Beverly Jenkins. I love this book so much. So this is another historical romance. This is the first book that I read by Beverly Jenkins, and I fell in love with it. So this book is about Valinda and Drake, and Valinda is a teacher, and she has been teaching marginalized kids from the town, and their school gets destroyed, and because like after that she ends up running into Drake and things happen, and this book and just Beverly's books in general are so like swoon worthy and romantic and beautiful and gentle and fun and amazing. I absolutely loved this book. Highly recommend. Number 17, we have Wrapped Up in You by Talia Hibbert. Talia definitely appears on this list quite a few times. No shocker there if you've ever watched my videos. So this book is a Christmas romance, and it's a novella, and it's available through Kobo, and I completely flew through it. It's so sweet. It's best friends to lovers, and it's set in the mountains. It's super cozy and fun, and I don't think I want to tell you more about it, but just read it. It is so cute. It's also like the least steamy book out of Talia's romances, so if you don't really like reading a lot of steamy scenes in romances, definitely pick this one up. It's just so cute, and just yes. Number 16, we have Go Deep by Rosie Adams. I love this book so much. This was one of the books that I read for my video where I read Talia Hibbert's favorite books, and it's one of my absolute favorite vlogs. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out for some incredible romances that are they're gonna appear in this video, just so you know. This book is about an author who is just really struggling with writing. She writes like steamy romances, and she feels super burned out, and she basically ends up asking her best friend for some inspiration and for like a friends with benefits type of a situation, and this is one of the best friends to lovers books I've ever read. It was so fun. Absolutely incredible. This completely solidified my love for best friends to lovers, and if you are like a reluctant fan of best friends to lovers, or you outright just don't like it, try this book out, and you'll see after that if you still don't like best friends to lovers. So this is just so fun and steamy and wonderful, and I absolutely fucking recommend. Number 15, we have Talk Sweetly to Me by Courtney Milan. This is where it got so fucking rough. I honestly, if I had to rank this again, like today or tomorrow, I would just probably rank it completely differently, because just I absolutely adore all these books. So I just want you to know. Yes, so this book, Talk Sweetly to Me by Courtney Milan, is a romance novella, and go deep as well, actually. So the last 3 books were romance novellas, so if you're looking for quick reads, definitely check those out. And this book is just so fucking wonderful. It's about a young black woman who is like an assistant to an astronomer or something along those lines, and she falls for like a columnist dude who is just so sweet and totally like a cinnamon roll hero. And I think that's all that I'm going to say about this book, because again, it's a novella, so I don't want to like spoil anything and give it anything away. So just read this book. It is so fucking romantic and beautiful and wonderful, and just, oh my fucking god, I love it so much. So number 14, we have the Bromance book club by Lisa K. Adams. I love this. I'm sorry, I keep repeating that because like literally these are my top books that I love, and I just it feels so weird not to say that, even though it's obvious. And so this book is basically about an established couple who are married and they're really struggling, and the guy ends up joining this romance book club where guys read romance books to be better for their partners. This whole concept, I'm absolutely in love with it, and I love it so much. This book was just so good, and I just love how, like, I need to read more books about established couples who are, like, struggling, and, like, you know, because I feel like it is just so important to have that, and it's also just so fun and amazing to read about, and I just adored this. And the 2 of them also have kids, so like, you know, if you like reading books that have kids in them, check this out. You need to read this. Like, seriously, I love this book. Number 13, we have The Roommate by Rosie Danan. So I am kind of questioning this ranking a lot, because this book was not a 5-star. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars, and I rounded it up to 5 stars. And I just like, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't necessarily rank the books based on the rating, but kind of based on like the enjoyment level and just based on some other factors as well. So, you know, yes, but anyways, The Roommate by Rosie Danan. It has the forced proximity trope. It's about Clara and Josh, and they basically end up moving in together because Clara goes across the country to live with her best friend, and then he kind of bails on her, and she ends up moving in with this stranger who turns out is actually a porn star. So it has a lot of important conversations around that, and it's so fun and funny and like steamy and amazing. And like, this book has just such a good vibe. Like, reading this was just made me feel so good. I really needed it, and it was just like absolutely everything. Like, it's just the kind of book, you know, that I didn't want to stop reading. I was just so invested, and it was definitely the case with the other books as well, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but just the experience reading this was amazing, and it wasn't a 5-star completely. I loved it so much, and I will absolutely buy everything that Rosie Danan puts out, which is honestly the case with every single one of the authors on this list, so yes. Then we have number 12, which is Do You Want to Start a Scandal by Tessa Dare. I love this so much. I read this book in my video where I read books with explicit covers, and it was the best fucking time. Like, I laughed, I swooned, I had so much fun with it. The 2 main characters in this book are found in this kind of like scandalous situation where it makes it seem like they hooked up, even though it was not them. They were hiding behind the like window, whatever. And so the hero in this book is like, we should just get married, and the heroine is like, absolutely not, we need to figure out who it was so that we can, you know, make it clear that it was not us. And this book was just such a wonderful time. Tessa Dare's books just always make me feel so good and bring me so much joy, and it's just such a fun experience, and I just adored the fuck out of this. Yes. Number 11, we have Tall, Duke, and Dangerous by Megan Frampton. In my review on Goodreads, I described it as, it has the grumpy and sunshine trope, it's friends to lovers, and it's the best friends, the brother's best friend trope. And there was just so much tension between the two main characters, and it was the absolute best time. I really want to get myself a physical copy of this book and reread it next year, because like I loved it so much, and the third book in this series is coming out, so I'm absolutely gonna fucking get that as soon as I can. And also I want to mention on this, along with this, Never Kiss a Duke by Megan Frampton, which is the first book in the series, so I didn't want to put myself through the pain of putting this like in another spot in this video, so I just want to mention it with the other book. I did like Tall, Duke, and Dangerous more, but I still adored Never Kiss a Duke. It has a really bad rating on Goodreads, and I have no fucking clue why. I adored it. It was just such a great time. Also, just so much fun and steamy and wonderful, and the chemistry is everything. And it also, Megan Frampton writes some of the absolute best independent and rebellious and fun and wonderful and unique heroines. Like, they're always just so beautifully fleshed out, and I'm obsessed, and you all need to read Megan Frampton's books. So number 10, we're getting to top 10, which this, again, like, just know that I adore all of these books with my entire fucking heart, and it was so hard. So number 10 is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. This was another book that I read in the Talia's favorites video, and I fucking loved it. I loved it so much. It's about Lena and Max. Max is Lena's ex-fiance's brother, and the ex-fiance kind of broke off the engagement, and she just kind of is annoyed at Max a lot because of all of that. And so it's kind of like, not necessarily enemies to lovers, but kind of, and the two of them have to work together on a project for work, so it's a forced proximity because of that. It also has the only one bed trope at some point, and it's just one of my absolute favorite romances. Like, I just loved it so much, and Mia Sosa, I need more of her books, please. So I actually need to check if she's coming out with another book next year. Yes. Number 9, we finally have a physical copy, and that is You Had Me At Ola by Alexis Daria. I love this book so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this book is about Ashton and Jasmine, and the two of them basically are actors on this telenovela, and they're playing like an ex-husband and wife who are kind of reconnecting and falling in love again. And so it's again kind of forced proximity because of that, and it's also filled with Latinx culture, and a lot of Latinx reviewers say that, you know, they absolutely love the book for that as well, and it's just such an incredible romance. It also has social anxiety representation, and Ashton is also a single father, and this book just has so many things that I love so much. And I kind of heard like mixed reviews about this book, so I went into it with low expectations, but I knew I had to get myself a copy because this is one of my absolute favorite covers ever. And I was not disappointed. I was literally so pleasantly surprised and so happy that I absolutely loved the fuck out of this, and it was everything. So number 8. We have Meeting the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. So I love this book so much, and honestly, I don't know if it's, you know what, fuck it. It should be on this spot because I had so much fun with it. And it's a book that is kind of like very chaotic and fun, and it has a lot of cliches, but it's like done in the absolute best way, and it was so fucking hilarious, and it was the best fucking time. It's a novella, and is a paranormal romance about this werewolf and this werewolf huntress. And the hero in this book is just absolutely obsessed with the heroine, but not in like a weird, creepy way. It's just so cute and fun and funny and absolutely incredible. It has like the mates trope, and I just, oh my god, there's not a lot of books that I had this much fun with. Number 7, we have The Lady is Daring by Megan Frampton. I adored this book, and I'm also including all the other books in this series along with this because I recently started reading this and I'm absolutely obsessed. I haven't read the entire series yet, but I'm definitely gonna get to that in January probably. This book is about Olivia and Bennett, and Olivia basically wants to go on a journey to find one of her sisters who like lives far away, and she was kind of like rejected by the family. And she goes on that journey like she isn't really allowed, and she steals this carriage, and Bennett, who was a duke, who was kind of rejected by the 2 previous sisters from the series. That's not a spoiler or anything, it's literally like in the synopsis. He like is in the carriage and they end up going on this journey together, and I just love them so much. Their dynamic was everything, and they were like, it was definitely like the dumbasses in love trope, because they were so in love with each other, and like it was absolutely everything. And just Olivia was such an incredible heroine, and Bennett was just so sweet and romantic, and this whole series has given me life, and you all need to read this. Again, Megan Frampton, you all need to check out her historical romances because it's absolutely everything. So, number 6, we're getting close to top 5. So we have Guarding Temptation by Talia Hibbert. This is Best Friends to Lovers. It has the forced proximity trope. It is steamy, it is fun, it is absolutely everything, and I love it so much. And I think that's all that I'm going to say about it. You all just need to read it. It's so quick to read. It's everything. It's so funny. Literally with every single one of these videos, the higher I get in the books, the less I know how to talk about them, because this just shows so much how I have the issue that when I really love something, I can barely express myself about it. But I hope that, you know, it's maybe gonna make you pick up some of these books anyways. So we're getting to top 5, and I want to make you guess what could be on the top 5. You know, if you've watched any of my videos, guess in the comments down below, like either the order or any books that you think will be there. What do you think is going to be the top 3? I'm curious to know. So number 5 is His Bride for the Taking by Tessa Dare. I love this book so much. I literally read the ebook of this at the beginning of the year, and I asked for it for Christmas, and my best friend got it for me, and I'm so fucking happy because I had to own this book because I had so much fun with it. So it is Tessa Dare yet again, and this book is about Mary and Sebastian, who are best friends, and they basically have a marriage of convenience, and it is absolutely everything. I think that's all that I must tell you about it. It is so swoon-worthy and so fun, and like I rooted for them so fucking hard as well, and it's just so romantic and wonderful and emotional, and you all need to pick this book up. It's also so fucking short. Like, you can read this in an hour, okay? And I'm definitely gonna be rereading this very soon. So number 4, we have Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. I read this like right at the beginning of January, and I still remember so much of the book, which is a lot. You know, I read so many books that obviously my memory isn't the best a lot of the time. So, you know, this was absolutely incredible. So this is a male-male hockey romance. It is between Shane and Ilya, and Shane is, it's so weird to, anyway, whatever. Shane is like a Canadian hockey player, and Ilya is a Russian hockey player, and they're like the biggest rivals in the NFL or whatever thing, and they have a romance. I like cannot even express like it's so intense. It has such high fucking stakes because they're in the public eye, and you know there's hockey, and there's the fact that you know Ilya is Russian, and all of that together makes the stakes so high and makes for such an impactful and like emotional story. It's one of my absolute favorites, obviously, because it's at the top. And you all need to read this. It is just everything. Okay, get on this. Yes. Now we are moving into top 3, which again was extremely painful. Like, I need you to know that the top 3, the top 5, the top 10 are all on the same level. Like, these books, I love them all so much, and I hate the fact that I had to pick between them like this, but just know that I adore them. Like, I literally switched the spots like multiple times because I just could not decide. So, you know, just yes. So, we have Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This book is about Dani and Zephyr, and Zephyr is one of my absolute favorite heroes ever. He is a bookworm. He is a sweetheart. Oh my gosh. And Dani is one of my absolute favorite heroines, and the two of them fake date, and I can't even pitch it well right now because I adore it so much and I can't even speak anymore, but you all need to read this book. It is so fun and so steamy and romantic and intense and everything, and like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm describing all these books in very similar ways because they all have this, like, Talia Hibbert is just the absolute best romance author ever, and this is absolutely incredible, and you all need to read it. You all need to read this entire series because it's everything. And yeah. Number 2, we have Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. So I read this book for my Talia's Favorites video yet again. And let's just say this was my favorite out of that video. It is, you know, all these books now at this point, like, are one of my all-time favorite books, which is why it's painful to pick between them and like literally impossible. And so this book is childhood best friends to lovers done in the best way imaginable. It is so emotional, so intense, so just it rendered me speechless. It was absolutely everything. I could not stop reading. I need to get myself a physical copy of this so that I can reread it, but at the same time it was so intense that I would be scared to reread it. But it was just absolutely everything, and you all need to read this book. And now we're moving on to number 1, which I feel like is like not an expected book, because like a lot of these books are, you know, really hyped and like you've heard me talk about it, and I haven't talked about this book as often as I would like, but that is Damaged Goods by Talia Hibbert. So the thing that made me, like, helped me put this on number 3 is the fact that Talia just had to be number 1. She's my queen. She is someone that I desperately wish I could, like, be friends with and talk about books with, and just, like, I am so grateful that I live in a world where I get to read Talia's books, because they're the best combination of all the most wonderful things that I want in a book, in a romance, in So Damaged Goods is a book that not many people have read, and this series is, thank God, a series that a lot of people have been reading and loving, and that makes me so fucking happy. But at the same time, I want to scream at these people who are fans of Talia, waiting for her next books, to just get to her backlist. Because this book is absolutely everything. It is about Laura and Samir, and the two of them were like high school sweethearts, and life tore them apart, and now they are reunited many years later, and it deals with some really important things, and it's one of the most gentle and caring and healthy and beautiful and incredible relationships I've ever read about. I rooted for them so hard. They made my heart ache, they made my heart warm, and it was just like, it dealt with some heavier things, but at the same time, there was just so many, like, good and funny and wonderful moments, and it was just everything, and oh my fucking God, you wanted to read this? I can't even, just read this. Read all these books. Okay? Yes. So, that is gonna wrap up this video and all of my top videos. Tell me if you read any of these books and what you thought about them and everything. And yeah, if you got this far in the video, leave a blue emoji down below because this cover is blue. So thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned because tomorrow my last video of the year is coming and a lot more content is going to come in January. It's going to be amazing and I'm really excited. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!